5 common sales mistakes that you're probably making in email. If you're not making them, you've definitely had them done to you. Hi guys, my name is James Newell. Welcome back to another video. I teach people how to sell. In these videos, we look at everything from finding, engaging, closing, following up clients, and understanding the psychology of buyer behavior. In this video, we're looking at sales mistakes, but more specifically, sales mistakes that are made on emails. 5 simple things that you can change today and some actionable things that you can do to put them right if you find yourself on the wrong side of some of these things. Okay, let's jump straight into it with number 1. The email's too long. Now, if you've ever gone to write an email out to somebody and it's so long that you can't even be bothered to check it and spell check it and read it through, and let's be honest, we've all been there, then guess what? The person you're sending it to is probably not going to read it either. We feel like we have to be verbose, we have to use lots of language, and we have to really go around the houses and explain ourselves in emails, when the reality is the people that are reading it scan it. They scan it in an F shape and they're looking for, what do you want? What is this about? What do you want? Just get to the point. So there is a huge advantage to sending shorter, more concise, more to the point emails. The longer the email, the less chance of it being read. So mistake number 1 is your emails are probably too long. So think about condensing them down and just cutting out the fat and getting straight to the point. What do you actually want? And that leads us quite nicely into mistake number 2. You don't actually tell people what you want in your email. So you send this really long email, or maybe you've made it more concise and you've cut it down, but there's no clear CTA. There's no clear call to action. It's not obvious what you actually want. You have like a wishy-washy, well, if you're interested, give me a call or send me an email or whatever, but it's not very confident. It's not very concise. It's not very obvious. So in your emails, you need to be very clear about what you want somebody to do. If that's of interest, I'd love to book a call with you. If that's of interest, go here and buy this. If you'd like my help, blah, blah, blah. Make it obvious to the recipient what you actually want them to do with the email, because if you don't make it clear and obvious to them, then the chances are they might miss it, not really see what you actually want, and they're very unlikely then to follow up with you and say, got your email, didn't understand it, what do you actually want? It's much easier to click the little trash can button, bin it, and move on. Number 3. Sales mistake on email number 3 is being too pushy. We've all had the instance of emails or direct messages or LinkedIn messages where somebody sends something to you and you don't respond to it, and then they chase you up again, and they chase you up again and again and again and again. And they don't take the fact that you haven't responded at all as any notion to stop. They don't realize that you're ignoring it and you've deleted it because you're not actually interested. Because guess what? Maybe you're just not the right buyer for them, or it's not the right time. But these people persist and they're pushy because they've been missold this notion that if you follow people up a certain number of times, you'll succeed. And whilst there is some truth in that, it's not actually a big number. You shouldn't have to follow somebody up 130,000 times for them to finally be broken and decide to buy from you. It should only take a couple of times, really. And if somebody's not getting back to you at all, it's either not a priority or they're just not interested at all. So the 3rd sales mistake is being too pushy. And we covered this in the main sales mistake video on my channel. When you feel like you're being too pushy or you're having to try and force people to make a decision because you're desperate for the business, take that energy and put it into finding more people. I call this don't chase them, replace them. So rather than following up and pushing people and chasing them more and more emails, send emails to new people and open up new conversations. Which takes us to sales mistake on email number 4. And it's kind of along the same lines. These people are pushy. They continually email. But sometimes you get a surly email where people actually expect a response. And if you haven't responded, they are rude to you. They expect a response and they kind of, I've had it before, I said, well, it's actually good manners to reply to people, which is insane because yes, it is good manners to reply to people, but unsolicited, out of the blue, cold emails, no, you have no right to expect a response from me, and certainly no right to then be rude to me about the fact that I haven't responded. And in any case, what kind of a relationship are we going to have if it starts off with you being rude and essentially telling me off for not coming back to you? So not pushing people and not chasing them up too much is one thing, but not being rude to people and expecting a response. The fact is, if you get a response, that's a bonus. You are not owed it at all, let alone within a certain time frame. So if you reference that, and I've had this sent to me and it's just insane, oh, it's good manners to reply to people. you shouldn't be talking to anybody like that, particularly not people that you actually want to sell to. And the final sales mistake on email, it's use of gimmicks. So we see the sales behavior out there. We've had emails sent to us and we copy things and we replicate things because we think they work. We're sending people emails with urgent in the title or time limited offer or you've been selected, all this kind of gimmicky nonsense. It's really obvious to your recipient what you are doing because there's 1,000 other emails in the inbox that look exactly like that. So here's a thought. Email these people as though they are people. You're going to have a conversation with them. Be honest, be caring, be upfront. You don't need to trick anybody or persuade them or convince them of anything. You just need to present your offering, present what you want to talk about, and let them decide from there. So sales mistake on email number 5, use of gimmicks. Don't rely on gimmicky, time-limited things and techniques and tricks and short-term things you might have seen, because in the whole, on the main, they don't actually work at all. It just feels like they do because we've seen them so often. So there you have it, 5 common sales mistakes that we make on email. Ultimately, when you're sending emails to people, you just need to keep a couple of things in your mind. First and foremost, you're emailing people. So make sure you're emailing the right person at the right time and you're talking about what matters to them. First thing they're going to see on your email is the subject line. So make it engaging, relevant, intriguing. Don't make it clickbaity, don't mislead anybody, but the subject line's got to be interesting. You've got to draw people in. And then in the body of the email, be short, be concise, be upfront, and make it very obvious what you want them to do. I'd like you to click here, buy now, call me, download a brochure, whatever. Make it nice and clear. The easier it is for me to navigate your email and read your email, the more likely I'm actually going to do it, and you will get the response or the behavior that you are after. Okay, so that's it for another video, but before you go, I have a very quick question for you. Do you fear, hate, or avoid selling? It's very common for people to have a negative approach to sales. Hate it, we avoid it, we fear it. We've seen it in the movies. It just feels weird and feels like a very difficult thing to do sometimes. I've created a very, very concise digital book called Scared to Sell that deals with exactly that issue. So if you fear, hate, or avoid selling, head on over to scaredtosell.com. This book is designed to explain to you not only why you feel the way you do and cover the psychology and the behavioral side of things to change your approach to selling, but it also gives you some actionable strategies, some actionable things you can put into practice today for zero cost that will help you to overcome that inertia, that fear, and to feel more confident when you sell. And certainly when I'm speaking with my clients and my students, it's the issue of confidence, what I call selling confidence, that really makes a difference in a sales situation. The fact is lots of people don't really have it, mainly because they've never really been taught how to sell or they've had some poor experiences. But like anything in life, learning to sell, it's a skill. It's an acquired skill. Salespeople aren't born, they learn. So if you fear, hate, or avoid selling, head over to scaredtosell.com and you will find the answers and you'll be able to move forward based on behavioral science, psychology, and actual factual things that will change your approach, not techniques and trickery. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button so it'll help me to reach more people on the YouTube platform and to share my sales education. I'll see you next time.